Hello, and welcome to NuVista Medical. Whether you are viewing this as a potential partner in our mission to provide patients with access to an alternative treatment or are joining the NuVista team as an employee, we want to express to you how glad we are that you are here, and we hope that you gain something from this presentation. The purpose of this video is to help provide an in-depth but simplified educational experience on cannabis, the medical benefits of various cannabinoids, suggestions on dosing, and an understanding on how this plant is regulated, procured through our process as a company. We hope that you walk away from this presentation with confidence in your base knowledge of the subject at hand and a piqued interest in learning more, as well as working with NuVista Medical to provide access to medical cannabis in order to aid in improving the lives of patients by providing access to new and alternative cannabinoid therapies. Our vision is focused on the patient first. We put the patients first by relying on research, quality, and collaboration, working to ensure that the research on cannabinoids, terpenes, and product delivery methods are being understood in greater depth for specific ailments to make sure those consuming our products are getting the best results possible by getting the cannabinoids they need in the amounts they need through the correct delivery method for their diagnosis. Our products are procured with the patient as the main focal point. Our cultivation methods follow some of the strictest medical cannabis program regulations that exist in the country. Extraction follows suit, and the manufacturing of our digestibles as well as our topicals are formulated with the highest quality extracts available. Some products are formulated with 100% organic and vegan inputs, and others vegan alone, while being made in an FDA-regulated facility and clean spaces across the product manufacturing department as a whole. All products are third-party lab tested with DEA-registered labs using the most advanced testing methods available. We as a company are completely representative of the importance of collaboration, as we are made up of two cannabis companies with specific expertise that combined equal decades of industry experience and an extensive bank of knowledge on cannabinoid subject matter, and a medical team with an extensive background in clinical research. Understanding cannabis is more difficult than most of us ever thought it would be prior to 2018 when the Farm Bill was signed and hemp was legalized. This monumental change in federal law opened the floodgates to research across the nation and access to so many in need. Let's understand cannabis. Cannabis is a plant family in which both hemp and marijuana are members of. As of late, the term cannabis has become recognized as the term for marijuana, but it blurs the lines further for consumers as both hemp and marijuana are members of the cannabis family. Hemp is defined by the 2018 Farm Bill as a cannabis plant that contains 0.3% or less delta-9 THC. Delta-9 THC is a psychoactive cannabinoid that is traditionally what is found in marijuana. So anything that tests higher than 0.3% delta-9 THC is considered marijuana by the federal government. The way law enforcement, the USDA, and we as a responsible self-regulating company measure the legality of our products is by sending them to third-party testing labs to obtain a COA or certificate of analysis, which measures the product's cannabinoid profile and potency to ensure we are within the legal limits defined by the federal law. These potency tests cover an array of cannabinoids, delta-9 THC, THCA, HHC, delta-8 THC, CBN, CBG, CBD, CBDV, etc. We will dive a bit into these cannabinoids as we review the COA presented here. Before we do, I want to note that COAs do not only measure cannabinoid profiles and potency levels. They also can measure terpene profiles, detect pesticides and heavy metals, as well as microbials. We have these tests done to not only make sure we are within the legal limitations, but also ensure that we are producing and providing a safe product to the consumers. Let's take a look at the COA that is featured here. You will notice in the top left of the image, there is a box that contains total cannabinoids, total THC, and total delta-9 THC. The cannabinoids featured in this box alter based on the product being tested and what cannabinoids are present. For this test, we are looking at a 25 milligram delta-9 THC gummy. But wait, 25 milligrams Delta 9 THC. I thought Delta 9 THC was illegal if it is over 0.3%. It is. However, when edibles are tested, they are tested based off of weight. It is the percent of Delta 9 THC that is present in 1 gram of the edible. So while this gummy contains 29 milligrams of Delta 9 THC, it only contains 2.232 milligrams per gram, or 0.232% per gram, making it below the 0.3% Delta 9 threshold. This particular gummy weighs 12 grams, so it is allowed to contain up to 35 milligrams of Delta 9 THC and is 100% federally legal. The math comes to 3 milligrams per gram of edible. This also goes for drinks and other liquid products. The last regulation on this is that the Delta 9 THC must be hemp-derived to meet the legal limitations. A chain of custody for the distillate or extract used in the manufacturing must be possessed by the manufacturer in order to be able to legally produce. Let's look at the COA in more depth and focus on some of the most popular cannabinoids on the market. If you look down in the main body of the COA, you will see various other cannabinoids listed, starting with CBN, which is a non-psychoactive cannabinoid that is present in various products that we offer, as it is known in collaboration with other cannabinoids to help aid in sleep. Next is the third most popular and known cannabinoid after D9-THC and CBD, Delta-8-THC. Delta-8-THC is a psychoactive cannabinoid that is about half the potency of Delta-9-THC. Delta-8 can be found naturally in cannabis plants in trace amounts, but to be produced on the mass scale that it has to go through a process of being converted from CBD isolate into Delta-8 THC. This cannabinoid has been shown to have many of the same benefits for consumers as Delta-9 THC. CBD, one of the top cannabinoids since 2018, is known to have a multitude of benefits. Benefits being anti-inflammatory effects, sleep aid, and pain relief. The list goes on and on for this cannabinoid, as it does for THC. CBG is non-psychoactive, has shown to provide pain relief with consumers, and CBDV as well as THCV, which are both non-psychoactive, help to provide focus and clarity, which is why these cannabinoids are featured in a number of our products. THCV needs to be more researched. However, it has shown great promise in combating diabetes in some trials that have been completed. Delta-10, THCO, and HHC are emerging on the market pretty heavily and are all known for their psychoactive effects, but there has not been very much research on their medical potential. THCA is the last of the main cannabinoids we will focus on. THCA is THC acid. This is a naturally occurring cannabinoid that is found in certain genetics grown in certain conditions and is the precursor to Delta-9. It is activated through heat, which converts it into Delta-9 THC. So a rich THCA flower with a 0.3% Delta-9 THC would be classified as hemp and is legal. However, when heated by, let's say, burning it, it would decarboxylate and convert into Delta-9 THC. Now, going back to the COA, Delta-9 THC and THCA are considered two different things. And in that top left box, we see total THC. This adds both Delta-9 and THCA together, coming up with the total THC percent. However, once more, the federal law considers a plant hemp unless it exceeds the 0.3 Delta-9 THC threshold. So, these COAs do wonders for making sure our products are safe and calculated correctly to make sure we are providing consumers with the desired dosage amounts, as well as continuing to operate within the legal limits of the law. There is so much to learn about the specific cannabinoids and all the potential they hold, but that should provide you with a well-rounded understanding, and we will focus directly on the cannabinoids in our products and their purpose later in the presentation. Here is a list of the most recognized and produced cannabinoids. We broke down the major cannabinoids in the last slide when working through the COA, but you may want to become familiarized with this list as we will be researching them and their benefits, as well as tracking other research that is done on these specific cannabinoids. For instance, we produce a 1500 milligram CBDA CBGA tincture. CBDA is the acetate version of CBD, as CBGA is the acetate version of CBGA. These non-psychoactive compounds were shown in a medical study to have the potential ability to help prevent consumers from contracting COVID-19. Some of the more research benefits are CBDA's ability to aid in reducing nausea more so than CBD alone. CBGA helps to open receptors to be more open to receiving other cannabinoids like CBD. CBDA activates 5-HT1A serotonin receptors. In fact, preliminary research suggests CBDA is up to 100 times more powerful at activating these receptors than CBD. Serotonin receptors and serotonin imbalances are linked to anxiety, depression, nausea, issues with sleep, and gastrointestinal problems. There's a study that found CBDA to possess anti-inflammatory properties via reducing the COX-2 enzyme. This would put CBDA in a similar category as NSAIDs, like ibuprofen or Aleve. Yet CBDA does not come with all the negative side effects associated with various synthetic anti-inflammatory drugs on the market. There was another study done that found CBDA to reduce the spread of certain breast cancer cells. So feel free to explore the cannabinoids we do not put an emphasis in, as we use them in other more recreational-based markets, so they are available in case you find a use for them in your practice. I have dug into some of the benefits of the cannabinoids we formulate specifically, but some of the main benefits that research is showing from cannabis are anti-inflammatory, pain relief, sleep aid, lowering blood pressure, lowering anxiety, treating addiction, treating GI disorders, preventing seizures, and fighting cancer. NuVista is driven, as I mentioned, by two cannabis companies, Longleaf Provisions Company and Celestial Wellness, as well as a medical team of physicians and researchers. For our partners who wish to provide their patients access to cannabis but feel a little hesitant to directly provide them with the psychoactive compounds, we are providing you with a coupon to offer patients that can be used at any of our combined 5 retail locations or on our e-commerce platform. Your rep will be able to provide you with these coupons in order to make sure your patients are able to obtain all the parts of the plant they need. So now that you have some understanding of the cannabis plant, both marijuana and hemp, let's look a bit at the delivery methods we offer for those seeking an alternative wellness option. Celestial Wellness, through their brand The Potent Goat, offer a daytime gummy, a nighttime gummy, Celestial Wellness relief salves, and THCV tinctures. Daytime gummies provide clarity and energy with their formulation of 20 milligrams CBG and 20 milligrams CBD, and then the nighttime gummies provide relaxation and sleep aid, containing 20 milligrams CBN and 20 milligrams CBD per gummy. Both gummies are made with a broad spectrum CBD, which contains no THC. The Celestial Wellness Relief Salve is a fabulous topical that contains 400 milligrams CBD per ounce. It is offered in a 1 ounce and a 2 ounce option. These are infused with full spectrum CBD, so there are trace amounts of THC included in the salve. However, when you use a topical, THC does not enter the bloodstream, so there is no risk of affecting drug tests or becoming intoxicated, even if there are higher amounts of D9. These salves are amazing for pain relief, to direct spots such as if someone is suffering with arthritis and needs relief from their hands. THCV tinctures provided by Celestial Wellness can be a great asset to your focus and your mental clarity. These contain 600 milligrams of THCV per tincture. Longleaf Provisions Company has a numerous amount of beneficial products. They have a live resin daytime gummy, a live resin nighttime gummy, a full spectrum tincture, transdermal patches, and CBDA and CBGA tinctures. The live resin daytime gummies contain 20 milligrams CBD, 10 milligrams CBDV, and come 10 gummies per pack. The daytimes are pink lemonade flavored, and they contain a live resin CBD distillate. These are vegan, lab tested, and provide mental clarity, energy boosting, and focus. The live resin nighttime gummies contain 20 milligrams CBD and 10 milligrams CBN. 10 gummies per pack, blue raspberry lemonade flavoring, and are made with live resin CBD vegan inputs. They are lab tested and they provide sleep aid as well as relaxation. The full spectrum tinctures come in a 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000 milligram option. They contain below 0.3% THC and a full spectrum CBD distillate. They are mint flavored. The transdermal patches are 65 milligrams CBD extended release over 12 hours. And then we have a CBDA, CBGA 1500 milligram tincture as well, coming from Longleaf Provisions Company. The products featured in this portion of the presentation are the non-psychoactive products that may be able to help your patients with the ailments they are dealing with. Let's look at the THC-rich products that both companies and brands offer. You are more than welcome to offer these in your business, but in the case you have certain clients who may need these cannabinoids, but you do not feel comfortable providing them on site, you are encouraged to provide them with a coupon you will be supplied with if you decide to work with us, so they know a responsible and safe place to learn what would be most effective in helping them obtain what they are looking to gain from using these psychoactive cannabinoids with the correct dosing regulations. We offer 25 milligram D9 gummies, 750 milligram D8 tinctures, 40 milligram D8 gummies, 25 milligram D8 live resin knockout gummies, 25 milligram D8 live resin day trip gummies, D8 vape carts, CBD flower, D8 flower, THCA flower. The Potent Goat offers a Delta 9 THCA gummy that contains 10 milligrams Delta 9 and 10 milligrams full spectrum CBD per gummy. Lastly, we will be focusing on one of the most important pieces of the puzzle to ensure that we are continuing to keep the patient first focus, which is dosing correctly. This can be a challenging hurdle as there is so much research that still needs to be done, but we have come a long way and make educational suggestions that are grounded through research and experience with these cannabinoids and how they operate in the human system. When we look at CBD, for instance, we see the numerous benefits that come from this cannabinoid: anti-inflammatory, pain, relief, sleep aid, etc. But this is not the case for everyone. A patient's endocannabinoid system, their specific diagnosis, even the delivery method they are using to obtain the cannabinoids can all play a role in how effective cannabis can be for helping them with their ailments. We want to be clear that there is a completely different way of dosing when you are working with clients depending on if they are looking to purchase product for recreational use or medicinal use. Recreational shoppers are still given suggestions for how much THC or what method they are going to use in order to make sure they are being responsible with dosing so they have a pleasurable and safe experience. But medicinally, it is important to look at each individual situation and dive into what blend or single cannabinoid would be most beneficial for the patient. If someone who is looking to use medicinal cannabis for helping with pain, for instance, but they smoke cannabis already, they will have a higher tolerance. So we would want to look at first adding CBD into their daily dose, as well as possibly more THC, depending on where the pain is occurring. For instance, if it is pain in their hands and smoking seems to help, but they wish to not have to smoke all the time or want something that lasts longer, edibles would be a good option accompanied with a topical. You may start off providing them with a CBD-only salve and suggesting they order online or visit one of our stores to get a THC-rich edible. That would be effective for about 4 hours. If they have never done THC-rich edibles, we would want to start them off on a lower amount until they see how it works for them. If the dose needs to increase, that can be done. If this patient comes back to you for their next visit and tells you the pain in their hands is improved, but they are still struggling, we may look at increasing the THC amount in the edible and providing them with a topical that contains both THC and CBD. Now, If you have another patient that comes to you with pain in their hands but wishes to not be intoxicated at all, you could provide them with a CBD tincture to take as well as a CBD salve. If this patient returns to you and says they saw benefits but still hurt, but they still wish to not feel any intoxication, you can provide them with the same CBD tincture, but suggest they try a THC CBD salve. While the salve contains THC, which can provide more pain relief, where the salve is applied, it does not get into the blood system, so the patient will not experience the intoxicating effects of THC. If this works, but still isn't fully relieving the pain, we may suggest a high CBD, extremely low THC edible that would not be enough to intoxicate the patient. If someone who comes in for sleep deprivation, but does not wish to be intoxicated, you may suggest one of the CBD nighttime gummies or a CBGA tincture. The patient may see amazing results in sleep sound, as many of our consumers have. But if they are still struggling, offering a small dose of THC through an edible will act as a sleep aid in almost all cases. The patient may be hesitant as they do not wish to be intoxicated, but if they go to bed at 10 and ingest their low dose of THC, they will most likely not even notice becoming intoxicated. The THC will take 30 minutes to 2 hours to activate being taken orally. We have a patient that has never used cannabis before. She doesn't wish to use it recreationally. She has lupus and sleep issues. I provided her with a 25 milligram D9 THC gummy, like the one in the COA in the presentation. She takes 1/6 of a piece before bed. She told me after the first night she slept 8 hours, and that was the first time she had slept 8 hours in 40 years. She also uses a CBD salve with THC to help with pain in her joints from the lupus during the day. It is important to work with each patient on an individual basis to find what blends and cannabinoids best suit their lifestyle as well as their specific diagnosis. Some other important properties to note when considering dosing is that inhalants become effective just about instantly. They have a shorter time frame where they are effective, but are more concentrated in vape cartridges and concentrates, in case someone has an extremely severe diagnosis. With flower, you get the instant effect without the extreme concentration. Edibles have a delayed onset, but the efficacy of the digestible will last about twice as long as an inhalant. Topicals are meant to affect direct positions on the body that are in need of relief and should be applied as needed. They do not provide an intoxicating effect, even if the product contains THC. NuVista always suggests starting low when deciding on a dose for a patient, while considering all that we have mentioned here to make sure we are not overloading the endocannabinoid system and raising tolerance levels in the patient for no reason. We are available through your rep or our website for helpful tips and consulting on specific cases, so please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. We at NuVista are here for you and your patients. We want to be a resource and build a strong, long-lasting relationship that helps our partners navigate this new frontier in the medical field in order to obtain the best results possible for the patient while continuing to keep them safe and have an effectively responsible experience. We thank you and we look forward to working with you.